or get crazy with the old guy.
The whole world is crazy, man. Man, women today are crazy, man. My wife, y'all don't know my wife, because my wife is crazy, man. You ever eat cheese doodles? Cheese doodles are crazy.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy 88 back again with another episode for you. Taking a day off from work. I need to handle some business. But well, I just was reviewing some of the comments that from my previous video about that Mother's Day shooting down in New Orleans. Had to block one motherfucker, some greasy ass, punk ass, and prison nigger motherfucker, who tried to say that I was allegedly copying a very popular YouTuber, person on YouTube, who I have a lot of respect for, and I ain't got no beef with him. Maybe because I agree with a whole lot. I am a subscriber of this brother's channel, but his insights on the black community is impeccable. You know, he's come up with analysis on the social ills of America, which is so uncanny because I would never even thought about it. His analysis are so on point, I've never even thought about it. And I felt compelled to, on some of my videos, comment about it. Not do a video response, but comment. Throw my 2 cents in there. It's my right to do so. He ain't listening to my shit, so fuck it. So it doesn't bother me. I'm not trying to be big or trying to come on YouTube and go get into beefs, get into internet beefs and arguing back and forth. This is what I'm using YouTube for, is the exchange of ideas and just the exchange of ideas and sharing information, because there's a whole lot of information out there that black folks need to get access to. They need to implement the ideas and the information that they receive from other people. Because you gotta understand something. We're behind enemy lines. If we're a black man in this country, we're behind enemy lines. And we're the most targeted. So it doesn't make any sense to go after another black man and attack his character, or attack another black man, or to harm another black man. So when you come by my page leaving slick comments like a little bitch, first of all, I normally don't leave my comment section open. I close that motherfucker off, because you're going to have some stupid motherfuckers come by. But this is not what this video is all about. So I don't give a fuck. I just wanted to put that to rest. He's been blocked, banned. The snitch has been blocked, banned, and gone. Eradicated. The prison niggas are eradicated from my page. Because I knew it was going to touch a nerve. That last video I did, I knew it was going to touch a nerve. But that's just how I feel about this nigger down in New Orleans who shot 19 people in a crowd during the second line parade. And there should be more people who were doing videos who are as passionate as I was. Now, the video I'm doing right now is an update regarding that shooting. As you know, the suspect, they identified a suspect by the name of Aiken Scott. Now, Aiken Scott, I'm looking at the Times-Picayune, the article in the Times-Picayune today, and apparently this nigga has been apprehended. Okay? He was captured. He didn't turn himself in. He was captured. The guy was hiding out. The guy never turned himself. He wasn't a man and turned himself in. Now, in the Times-Picayune, they have a picture of the scene of what happened, where there was a crowd of people and this nigga started shooting, and this nigga started running like a coward. Ran like a coward. And they also talked about, they identified some of the victims and the statuses of the victims. Well, not really identified. They included the status of the victims. And I like to read. There was 19 of them, ranging from 10 years old to 56 years old, people. You know, first one was a female, 48, shot multiple times, once in the back, underwent surgery, and on a ventilator. This woman's on a ventilator, people. This is what this nigga did. He put this woman on a ventilator. Gunshot, male, 18 years old. Gunshot wounds to the shoulder, forearm, hips, and thighs. So this brother got shot multiple times in his arm, hip, and thigh. 35-year-old man, male, 35, gunshot wounds to the upper torso, underwent surgery, and also on a ventilator. 27, male, 27, gunshot wound to the hand, right side. The list goes on until I read, and what's so disturbing, that there was a 10-year-old girl that was shot in the abdomen, and a 10-year-old boy had a flesh wound to his face. See, this is what this cowardly, low-functioning urban terrorists, because this is what they are. These are urban terrorists running around, terrorizing a crowd of people for no apparent reason. It was unprovoked, where 19 people were injured, 3 was on a ventilator. 3 people are on a ventilator, and some of them had to go into surgery. The scene was like a war zone where 19 people came in at the same time getting shot with gunshot wounds. There was a reporter by the name of Deborah Big Red Cotton. It was also 48. That was the 48-year-old woman that was on a ventilator. Shot multiple times. She was a blogger and a correspondent for the parade. And she did a video addressing the violence in New Orleans. And it's ironic that this woman got shot 3 times and is on a ventilator. On a ventilator. This is how she spent her Mother's Day, getting shot, going through surgery, and in a ventilator. Critical condition, people. This woman is in critical condition. 2 children got shot. But let me explain something to you. There was another person who left a comment talking about solutions. I responded, there is no solutions to this nigga. This nigga is 19 years old, and he's immune to anything that I have to tell him about honor, courage, integrity. You know, I can sit down and talk to him and blue in my face about being an honorable man and integrity man, and having integrity. You're in this country. Your ancestors did not die for you to go out and hurt other people, especially your own people. And what really bothered me was he was trying to include that there were white people in that crowd, white people that got shot. Well, in all fairness, I don't know if they were or they weren't white people in that crowd. If they were white people that got shot, hey, But I know that area of the 7th Ward. I don't see too many white people living in that area, people. Not that when I went, not maybe probably now, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in that area. Not in the 7th Ward. You know, if this happened in the Garden District, hey, I'm with you. If this happened right by Tulane University, I'm with you. If it happened down in the Quarter, I'm with you. But this is in the 7th Ward. There's nothing but niggers up there. Black folks, working class black folks. So I don't know. In all fairness, I don't know. But see, that's the problem. We want to include, when I'm talking about black folks and their issues, you know, there's going to be one that want to include white people in our ratchetness. We want to include white people in everything that's destructive. You know, like I'm the bad guy for condemning niggers and uplifting black folks. You know, talking about, you know, giving black folks who were victims of senseless, violent, senseless crimes a form, which they don't have a form to begin with. It's not like Sandy Hook, where the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre get to meet the president, get to shake hands with all the politicians, who get sympathy from people all around the world, cards and letters all over the world, donations. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? These people getting donations. What are these 19 people going to get when they get out of the hospital? When their lives are changed? Because because you got to understand something. You got to understand something. Hold on for a second. You got to understand something. That people, this nigga was immune throughout birth, was born to some low-functioning, unintelligent parents who didn't give a fuck about them, didn't give a fuck about their children, allowed their children to do whatever they wanted to do, to go wherever they wanted to go, probably physically and mentally and verbally abused this nigger on a daily basis until he became immune and hardened and unresponsive to anything, to any good sense, to anybody trying to impart some wisdom to this man, to this nigger, to this black man. He's not a brother. He's a black man, maybe a nigger, who's going to be in prison grabbing ankles for the rest of his life. So if I'm not sympathetic, well, there's a reason for it, because I'm not sympathetic to people. You know, it's kind of like spraying Raid on roaches. You're gonna kill about 100 of them, but those 10 that's gonna survive, they're gonna mate with each other and create babies that's gonna be immune to that Raid. That's how I equate what Aiken Scott to roaches who are immune to Raid. This nigga is gonna be, he's 19 years old. You might say he's 19 years old. He made a mistake. He's gonna regret it. Well, look, listen. There's nothing cowardly than shooting 19 people, shooting into a crowd of people and running like cowards. At that point, you're a coward. And then you hit out. Then you ask your friends and family to hide you out because you're running for the law. You're running from justice. You're running from your fate. Instead of being a man and turning yourself in, he ran. He got caught. Now this nigga was out on $15,000 bail. He was out on bail. He was out on bail for resisting arrest, possession of a weapon, and possession of drugs. And he was released on bail? How the fuck did this nigga get released on bail to commit another crime? See, this is what, see, you know, I'm gonna do a video on the injustices, justice system, where you got niggers just running buck wild. They get caught committing a crime and they get released from jail to commit more crime. And I believe that there's an economic benefit for releasing criminals releasing criminals back into the public after the police took the police used man hours to arrest this nigger, process this nigger, house this nigger in jail for a couple of days. Then the judge, who got paid by my tax money, or by the citizens of New Orleans tax money, you know, he was brought before a judge, probably a liberal judge, who wanted to understand him, thought he could be rehabilitated, decided to give him a chance and release him on $15,000 bail, because somebody probably came up with the 10% premium, went to a bail bondsman, came up with a 10% premium to let this punk ass out, get his punk ass out of jail, which I wouldn't have done. There's a solution for you, brother. Stop bailing these niggas out of jail when they get into a jam. See, there's an old song. There's a rap song that said, if you get jammed up, don't mention my name. If you get jammed, I'm going to tell everybody in my family, I told everybody in my family, if you get jammed up, don't call me, nigga. Do not call me. Because I'm not bailing you out. I'm not posting any bail. I'm not putting my house up. I'm not getting you an attorney. Best I can do, I'm not scraping up my money to get you out. Fuck you. You know, and I hope they would do the same to me if I was repeatedly going to jail. It's not like at 38. Now for my brothers and sisters, I would get them out of jail because there's probably some circumstances behind them getting locked up or getting arrested. Because we're all in our late 30s. We're not going to be committing crimes in our late 30s. We're not going to start now. We're not going to start getting arrested in our mid-30s, mid to late 30s. I'm damn near 40. I should not be going to jail. I'm not breaking the law at 40. For what? I'm not trying to get no felony on my record at 40. For what? If I didn't do it back then when I was in my 20s, well, you're not supposed to go to jail. You're not supposed to get felonies on you're not supposed to accumulate a felony record in your 20s. You're not supposed to be doing that shit. Now, why the fuck would I start doing that shit now? It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But here I am. I'm going to celebrate that they got this nigga off the street. And I'm going to probably do a video on solutions because I want to talk to you about mentorship. Now, could this nigga, Aiken Scott, benefit from a man mentoring him when he was like 10 years old, 11 years old, when his sorry ass mama didn't do anything with this child, educational, didn't put him through school, didn't monitor him in school, didn't do anything, became a bad seed. She still probably can't figure out how this nigga became a bad seed. Now, keep in mind, I don't know this nigga. I don't know his background. But I'm pretty certain if I knew his background, I wouldn't be surprised that he would be able to do. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back to me that he did such a cowardly act. Because this is what cowards do. You know, he probably didn't understand that there is no honor in what he did. All out of anger. Just like that punk ass nigga down in Alabama who shot those Auburn University students at a nigger party, at a hood party, over a bitch. Killed 3 men over a bitch, and he's sitting in prison, possibly on death row. And I gotta do an update on that story too, nigga. But listen, let me cut this video short. I gotta run. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. Excuse me, not video. It's not a video anymore, it's a podcast. Let me cut this podcast short. I'm out of here, people.